Hey guys, my name is Gerard. I'm working at home for Teleflora, and I want to share with you some ideas for Mother's Day that might be helpful to you. I know that we're all in a very difficult situation right now, and certainly where I am in my little town of Natchez, Mississippi, and it's very quiet here, and it's, I think, very difficult. But of the people that I've spoken to through Easter, many said that they were busy because I think people are craving beauty and because of spring too. Today I want to share with you an idea and an arrangement that I thought would be something you would find easy to make, very impactful, and also beautiful, of course, and very sellable for your store for Mother's Day. Here goes. What I usually like to do in an arrangement is that I like to pick larger containers. Now, sometimes your budget or your customer's budget may not allow you to have a larger container, but I like to promote it because it gives the arrangement much more impact visually. I also like to use items that are more proppy, sometimes you can call it that, that will enhance your arrangement and make it different, because I think the bottom line is that it needs to be, you know, a very competitive in this market. What I like to do is maybe put in a frame. It's Mother's Day, you want to put in a picture of the recipient and maybe the daughter of the recipient or the son of the recipient. I would just use cardboard sometimes. If you go to inexpensive stores, you can find frames that are less expensive, but I would just use these and just cover it with duct tape before so that it gets waterproof. It's inexpensive. We all have cardboard. This one I've made with some silk leaves, and what's good about that is a lot of times we'll do silk flowers and then we end up with leaves, you know, that we don't use or that we cut off longer stems. So I like to save them and I make them into these. This one I didn't put the cardboard, I didn't put duct tape, but as you can see, it's really interesting. I've added a little bit of ribbon to it so that it can you know, be hung later. So that's a great way to give somebody a keepsake item. I add skews to it and then I place them in the arrangement. Notice I've kind of skewered it a little bit so that it's not so predictable. And then I'll add the flowers. I like to start with larger flowers as a base, so I'm going to use a couple of these very large lilies, placing them near the base, and that will really anchor the large frame, which is covered by greenery anyway, so it really blends in. And then adding, you know, a couple of line flowers into it. It's really fast and easy, surprisingly, and you would think it's very complicated, but it's really fast to put together. So it's really efficient economically for you guys to do. So I've placed two large snapdragons. These are really beautiful. I got them from the local florist here called Morton's. They were very generous to let me have some of their flowers. And then here I'm going to place a couple of green bells of Ireland, which really blends into the overall frame. And then of course a couple of pink roses. It is Mother's Day. And notice that if you have the frame open and you don't have the picture to put in, then just have the flowers come up and above into the frame itself, because this will really tie it in dimensionally. I also want to point out that I'm putting flowers in before the greenery. I didn't get a lot of greenery. I just cut it a little bit on outside, but just so you can see how flowers really play on the arrangement, and you don't really have to put a lot of other flowers, other greenery as filler. So economically and in efficiency, it's really good because you didn't spend a lot of time filling up the container first. And then after that, I'll just add a little bit of greenery. I happen to pick up some of this ligustrum from outside, and it really helps add to it. If you don't have ligustrum, you can add baby's breath, or if you want something more high-end like lilac, that would be wonderful. You will notice that this is about the time I add some of the filler, like and greenery into the arrangement itself. As you'll notice also that as large as this container was when I first started, I really have maybe 6 or 7 stems of flowers, and that's pretty much it. So you can see how fast this was created. So let me show you how this is progressing so you get an idea of how impactful this is and how impressive for a few flowers, just because I use a larger container, and you can see how this really stands out. Some of the things that I like to add to the arrangement is to put in other small elements, like I would put these little butterflies, and they work really well into the arrangement. I'll show you at the end, but all I did was use one of these clippers like these that you can get at the craft store, and then you punch out out of paper these little butterflies, or it can be hearts. They'll have different kinds like that. See, so it's really cool for me to put in another added element to the arrangement itself. Isn't that cool? A lot of times I'll use these watercolor paper, dip it in water, and just touch it with a little bit of watercolors, and it'll add even more color to the butterflies itself. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to wish you all the most success for your business in this very difficult time. I pray that you guys keep safe, and from Teleflora, from me, all the best. Thank you.